Yeah, hey, how you doing? I'm doing fine. I'm on my 10 toes, nigga. I'm on the grind.
Back to our channel, right? You know it's your boy Shrimp.
It's your girl Zai.
And today we back with
another reaction video.
Who we got today?
We got SpongeBob Conspiracy Theory.
Ooh, shit.
The Squilliam Theory.
The Squilliam Theory?
Yeah, so you know Rich Squidward little twins.
Okay, then, man. Before we tune in, man, we got the road to what, baby?
On the road to 10K. 10K. Ooh, we right there.
Right there, man. So just click that little button right there, man.
Subscribe.
That little red button ain't gonna hurt.
Fuck with us.
Know what I'm saying? Let's tune in, man.
Fancyson, Fancyson, Squilliam Fancyson.
Squilliam Fancyson III is Squidward's rival from high school band class.
So, I just took my private yacht across my private lake to my private heliport.
He's more wealthy, popular, and talented than Squidward, and he always rubs it in his face.
That's right. I'm living your dream.
It's like your siblings, they're all fighting this shit.
Squidward. Oh, just succeeding in everything you failed in.
But I intend to prove that he's a fraud, using his wealth to make himself seem more popular and talented than he actually is. He goes to ridiculously extreme and expensive lengths to humiliate Squidward and show his superiority, and I'm gonna prove it.
Okay.
SpongeBob is one of my favorite shows from my childhood. Even going back now and rewatching the old ones, it still holds up. You might think, it's just a kid's show, there's no continuity, there's nothing worth theorizing.
Hell no.
It'd be a lot of shit that, you know, when you grow up, you realize, you be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
About, but the show constantly brings back characters and references to previous episodes, and if you look closely, you can connect the dots and find some very interesting stories. And today, I'm going to prove that Squilliam Fancyson III is a manipulative fraud. Evidence number 1, the pet hospital. We first meet Squilliam in Season 2, Episode 15, Band Geeks. The episode opens with Squidward playing the clarinet and getting a knock on the door.
Yeah, we're with the pet hospital down the street, and I understand you have a dying animal on the premises.
Immediately after, Squidward gets a call from Squilliam.
Squidward is one grumpy ass motherfucker, bro.
I understand Squidward sometimes, you know.
God damn.
I don't want to fuck with some motherfuckers sometimes.
Hello, you've reached the house of unrecognized talent. Please start after the... Sounds as though you've got a dying animal to attend to, old chum.
I believe that not only was Squilliam spying on Squidward to know when he was playing his clarinet, but he also hired the doctor to come and embarrass Squidward.
Yeah, we're with the pet hospital down the street. Pet hospital down the street.
We have never seen a pet hospital in Bikini Bottom. We've only ever seen just the regular Bikini Bottom hospital. We've seen this purple doctor fish before, but once again, he's never worked at a pet hospital. We've only ever seen...
Do you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Why are you fucking with Squidward?
Purple doctor fish before, but once again, he's never worked at a pet hospital. We've only ever seen him at the regular general hospital.
Well, Mr. Squarepants, it seems you have the suds.
I know that.
Ready for your treatment?
Then there's this green fish behind him, and we've only ever seen him as one of the...
Hold on, the FBI or the cop, I think.
He just... I often say he give me cop vibes.
Yeah, hold on, let's see if we're right.
Many identical paramedics that
they do this for paramedics.
Yeah.
work at the Bikini Bottom Hospital. We even see him at the end of the episode to take Squilliam away after fainting. So it is very likely that Squilliam hired these two and told them to pretend like they're from a pet hospital just to humiliate Squidward. But this is just the start of Squilliam's elaborate lies. Evidence number 2, the Bubble Bowl. In the same episode, Squilliam also says,
I'm the leader of a big fancy band now, and we're supposed to play the Bubble Bowl next week. The problem is, I'm busy next week and can't make it, so I was hoping you and your band could cover for us.
But we've never seen Squilliam's band before, and despite claiming he's too busy to make it to the Bubble Bowl, he still shows up at the end to watch Squidward's band. So both his excuse and probably his band were made up to pressure Squidward into humiliating himself at the Bubble Bowl.
Yep. I can see that shit.
And manipulative motherfucker.
And they killed that shit, especially SpongeBob, boy.
What?
SpongeBob, dog. You can't call that nigga Squidpants no more.
Now I'll tell you, this is one of my favorite episodes.
Excuse and probably his band were made up to pressure Squidward into humiliating himself at the Bubble Bowl. Evidence number 3, Squilliams Friends. In Season 3, Episode 8, Squilliam returns, Squidward leaves for work and conveniently bumps into Squilliam and all of his fancy friends, despite Squilliam not seeming like the kind of guy that would come near the Krusty Krab. He and his friends make fun of Squidward for working as a cashier.
Hold it! Don't tell me! You're a cashier! Don't lie. Lying always makes it worse.
But I believe that this encounter was planned out by Squilliam in advance, and he hired all of those people to pretend to be his...
They don't like his damn friends.
I seen them before.
Yeah, especially her.
Eating at the Krusty Krab,
Yeah,
walking
her.
with her baby.
I seen her, I seen him right there on the left, the second one to the left. No, especially the nigga, I said nigga. The third person on the left
Right here too. This lady.
Close to her
This
right
motherfucker
there.
in the back.
White shirt.
And these two right here.
Yeah, we seen them around, man.
his friends. Take a look at Squilliams Friends. They're all nicely dressed, you kind of get the sense that they're fancy, high-status members of Bikini Bottom, but they aren't. This is more like what the fancy rich people in Bikini Bottom look like. These are just some regular Bikini Bottom citizens. Most of them usually don't even wear nice clothes like this. And most of them are regulars at the Krusty Krab and would already know Squidward as a cashier.
My daddy doesn't have enough slime!
These are not the type of people Squilliam would hang out with. I mean, why would Squilliam be hanging out with one of Pearl's teenage friends? At the end of the episode, Squilliam even admits to his...
Damn! Babe, what the fuck?
But the way they put this shit together though, it's crazy.
You don't even think about just watching it.
Right.
They go right over your head.
But it's more than just what they showing you.
whole life being fake.
I made everything up about my life. I have no yachts, jets, or anything. I was only trying to impress you.
And then of course he quickly says he's just kidding.
Is that true? Of course not! I'm filthy stinking rich!
But was he kidding? I mean, obviously he's rich, but is there a nugget of truth in there? Evidence number 4, the statue. In Season 7, Episode 6, Squidward has to pick up trash for community service, and Squilliam once again conveniently bumps into him and reveals he's cleaned up so much trash that the city actually built a statue of him.
Maybe if you clean up Bikini Bottom, they'll build a statue of you.
I ain't no saying
Wait!
for trash.
Bro, he just fucking with him. Like he's trying to embarrass him any type of way.
He don't fuck with Squidward.
Trying to put him down.
That be jealousy.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, bro, okay, you so rich and shit. Why the fuck you bothering me for it?
Well, and that's what people be having more than you and be jealous of you.
Yeah, man.
They've already built one of me! I cleaned up all of Bikini Bottom in only 1 week.
I believe that once again, this encounter was staged by Squilliam, and he actually paid to get that statue built. As Squilliam tells Squidward about the statue, a female fish admires it and says,
Bless you, Squilliam Fancyson. Bless you.
but if you remember, this is one of those friends Squilliam likely paid, making her whole comment feel very fake. By the end of the episode, Squilliam's statue gets destroyed. A police officer approaches and they have this exchange.
This is your statue?
It was.
Squilliam admits that it's his statue, not the city's. And why else would the officer give him specifically a ticket if it was city property? Evidence number 5, the concert. In Season 6, Episode 17, Squidward watches Squilliam play the clarinet at a big fancy concert. He receives a standing ovation, causing Squidward to leave angrily. But I believe this entire concert is a scam. Not only has the audience been paid to cheer, but Squilliam never even touches his instrument. Once again, many of the audience members were part of Squilliam's quote-unquote friends, but we also never actually see Squilliam play the clarinet. The episode opens right after he's finished his performance with the audience cheering, and one member of the audience says,
He's such a great musician. He doesn't even have to touch an instrument to be brilliant.
maybe the real reason Squidward leaves so...
Right there in our face, baby.
Oh my god, bro. Cartoon is so funny because it's like, well, it's just cartoon, but it's like, this is so interesting though.
angrily is because the audience cheered for Squilliam even though he never even touched his clarinet. Maybe Squilliam is just as bad as Squidward at the clarinet and he's trying to hide it. Squilliam has gone to some pretty extreme lengths just to humiliate Squidward, but nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to what he does next.
Ooh, what the fuck?
What he doing next?
That nigga, he a sneaky motherfucking squid, ain't it?
It's number 6,
I think I know
the
somebody
music
like him.
college. In the same episode, after Squidward leaves the concert, he's approached by the headmistress of the Bikini Bottom prestigious music college.
Aren't you the esteemed
I remember her.
Squilliam Fancyson III, who we all came here to see perform tonight?
She mistakes him for Squilliam and offers him a position as a professor. Squidward pretends to be Squilliam and teaches a class, only for the police to burst in and arrest him, all while he's being filmed on live TV. And I believe that this is Squilliam's most elaborate and most expensive scheme to destroy Squidward both publicly and legally. This encounter where Squidward gets offered a job is already suspiciously convenient, but listen closely to their exchange.
I'm Squilliam Fancyson.
But didn't you just say a minute ago that your name was Squidward Q Tentacles?
It is. Oh, I mean, no, I didn't.
Well, that's a relief. I mean, what kind of a moron would go to their worst enemy's music recital?
What kind of moron would go to their own enemy's music recital? How does she know that Squidward and Squilliam are enemies? If she knew who Squidward was, then why didn't she recognize him? Why would she mistake him for Squilliam? This feels way too much like she was hired by Squilliam to set a trap for Squidward. And
the freaking the camera guy, look like he don't even want to be there. Look at his ass. Yeah, annoyed as hell.
He never want to be there. The cameraman, you never noticed?
Isn't that the janitor?
Yeah.
And if that's not enough, the headmistress's associate is literally just a guy from the paid audience wearing a disguise. He just threw on some glasses to seem smart. Squilliam knew that Squidward couldn't resist the opportunity to teach a music class, even if it meant breaking the law.
My very own music class.
Then we get to the Bikini Bottom prestigious music college, and right off the bat, there's something very fishy about this place. The building itself is very green and grimy, and has a very cheap metal look. Nothing about this says prestigious, except for the big sign on top, which feels like the only new thing about this building. I think there is a very good chance that Squilliam just bought some old warehouse, then stuck a sign and some paint on it to disguise it as a college. I mean, look at these other schools in Bikini Bottom. They all have a very nice structure.
You know, I never seen a school in Bikini Bottom. I never seen that school.
I never seen one.
Besides the freaking driving school.
Oh yeah, that's it. Shit.
That's all I seen.
The fun in the I seen the prison before.
Yeah.
And a paint job, but this prestigious music college looks like a dumpster. Going into the classroom, not only does it have another one of Squilliams' friends, but if this is such a prestigious college, how did SpongeBob and Patrick get in here?
Would you two numbskulls mind telling me what you're doing in music class anyway?
Sure! Patrick's New Year's resolution was to learn to play an instrument.
They say it was their New Year's resolution to take a music class, but you'd think it'd be harder for them to get into an esteemed music school if they just decided to go to it on a whim. Seems like they're just letting in anyone to sell this ruse.
Y'all trying SpongeBob and Patrick, dog.
Like, hey man, let these dummies come in here.
Motherfuckers, they smart in their own ways.
If they just decided to go to it on a whim. Seems like they're just letting in anyone to sell this ruse. Then, both the police, Squilliam and the headmistress, and a live news broadcast show up at the same time to arrest Squidward for impersonating Squilliam. If the extremely coincidental fact that all of these people suddenly showed up at the same time isn't enough for you to believe that Squilliam set it all up, I've got something that's going to blow your mind. Squilliam literally has the police working for him.
Squidward Q Tentacles, I'm placing you under arrest for impersonating a genius.
If that doesn't sound like he's been paid off, I don't know what does. The lengths that Squilliam goes to humiliate Squidward are insane.
Why do you remind me of Hiram Lodge?
Literally built
from off Riverdale.
Statues and entire buildings just to make Squidward feel inferior. But why? Why would anyone go so far to embarrass an old high school band classmate? What happened between them? What could have caused this extreme level of dedication? Well, unfortunately, we never really get much information on their past. I've spent hours reading through the SpongeBob Wikipedia and looking at old episodes, and there really just isn't any clues that would explain their weird relationship. I guess we can't solve everything, but either way, that's my theory. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Shoot.
Oh, we went with it. That was great.
Yeah, it was a great thing, man.
We'll do number 2 for y'all.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if we did bad, y'all let us know, man. But at the end of the day, man, y'all know what's up.
Man, make sure y'all like,
subscribe,
comment,
share,
hit notification bell.
You know what, baby?
Baby.
That's on
Gang!